Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Pakistan beat Bangladesh in the first of the three-match T20 international series convincingly. It was a stellar performance from Salman Ali Agha, from Hassan Nawaz. They were absolutely brilliant. Shadab Khan with the bat, and then of course Hassan Ali with the ball as well. Haris chipped in with some valuable runs as well. So after being 5 for 2, Pakistan really made a solid case of reaching 200, and a bit disappointed from Bangladesh's perspective. I was just discussing it with K Asif as well before the show started, that I'm really disappointed with the Bangladeshi team, and with the amount of diversity and the amount of quality that we're seeing in associate nations, it's going to be very difficult for them to solidify their place in the committee of cricket playing nations for T20 cricket. I think it's a real challenge for them now, for the Bangladesh Cricket Board, to develop a team that is skillful enough to give some healthy competition. So we'll talk about that in detail. Joining our studios first of all is our sports expert, international cricket commentator, broadcaster and presenter K Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, I'm very well, thank you, Ahmad.
And also joining us is first class cricketer Kashif Majeed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, perfectly all right, thank you.
Yes, K Asif Ahmad, your analysis of yesterday's game and a resounding victory for Pakistan.
Well, I think that when we talk about that the youngsters are playing and they're performing well, let's talk about Hassan Nawaz in a very crucial time. This is the same Pakistan team whenever we talk about that if Pakistan loses wicket early on, early 20 runs, and then it's difficult for the Pakistan team to play full 20 overs. But kudos to Haris. He came with an intent, hit a couple of sixes. His intent was clear, pretty much clear, that he'll go for the firepower. And then Salman Ali Agha taking onus and understanding that I'm a skipper and I'll have to deliver. I think that his role in the batting was really remarkable. So Hassan Nawaz is not the same Hassan Nawaz which we have witnessed against New Zealand. In New Zealand, he has worked a lot on his technique and his confidence and temperament. So his innings was blistering. I enjoyed really. And then, when we talk about Shadab Khan, once again, batting all-rounder or bowling all-rounder, I'll try to initiate this debate once again, because captain always doesn't show confidence over the Shadab Khan's 4 overs. He always tried to save his 1 or 2 overs. He just go for a couple of overs. Overall, it's a very good victory for Pakistan. I'll talk about Syed Majeed, the way he went across the line, as we were discussing right before the show, that he didn't read the ball. And if an opening batter, if he's not reading properly a spinner, it means that he is not fully confident. Same with the Fakhar Zaman, the way he went down the track and missed the ball. So both of the left-handed batters, Fakhar Zaman had a fabulous PSL 10, though Syed Majeed was struggling, and we were discussing this last night as well, that his batting form is really, really important for the Pakistan. But it was first game after his 6 months. This was his first international game, so definitely we'll give him some more time. And one thing that Sahibzada was sitting on the bench. So now we will have a question, because Haris played well, Salman Ali Agha is a skipper, Hassan Nawaz is in good touch. So will Sahibzada get a chance or not? That's the question now.
And if he doesn't, then what's the future? I think that's even more important as well.
Don't you think it's really, really sad that a guy who's performing so well, scored more than 400s in the calendar year, even then, if he's not able to get a chance there, then who is responsible? Dear?
Well, if you give him a chance in the next T20s, the next 2 of them, he performs and Syed Majeed is benched, then that becomes a tricky case for Pakistan. But
why not on the place of Fakhar Zaman, dear?
Well,
why you're not talking about his? Why you're not taking his name? See, I'm supporting him. He played some stunning knocks in Pakistan Super League. He's in good touch. But what if he doesn't perform?
Bench both of them then. But Kashif Majeed, a resounding victory for Pakistan nonetheless. Let's just analyze the victory first and then we move on.
I guess a perfect script to start off the series with all those guys who've been under scrutiny, under radar, performing well. Apart from the openers, of course, and we talk about Hassan Ali. He came back with a stellar performance of taking fifer. We talk about Hassan was batting in the middle order. He performed runs. We talk about the captaincy of Salman Ali Agha. He was there. He was found everywhere in the fielding. And then Shadab's performance, yes, K Asif was quite right when we talk about Shadab as a batting all-rounder or as a bowling all-rounder, but most probably the fielding all-rounder, the one area which where he didn't let us down in any match. So most probably he's that guy, he's that electric fielder. You can place him anywhere and he'll perform. And most probably everything take right. But having said all those things, playing against Bangladesh, who just lost the series against UAE at own backyard, it's just not that the litmus test we wanted for the team. But most probably winning the match, winning an international match, adds so much confidence to all the players. And of course, the mindset of the complete setup, the entire players, losing 5 for 2 in 1.3 overs or 2 hours, and then scoring 195 odd runs and in other next 18 overs. That shows the mentality, the mindset, and most probably the 200 will be an average score for Pakistan if everything goes well and this mindset goes well.
Absolutely, but the mindset, Kashif, has to be consistent as well at the same time. You also mentioned that it's great that a youngster is being given the full authority to play his natural game. Now, from what we understand, Mike Hessam and his way of doing things is that kind of mindset will prevail. Is it sustainable for Pakistan cricket?
I guess with this breed of cricketers coming into the Pakistan, it is. If we talk about Hassan Nawaz, most probably he's not aware of our history of playing cricket the way we have played in the 90s. So he's brought up in the era of Chris Gayle, Karen Pollard, and all those guys who've been strong hitters, and most probably this is where his ideal will be lying, somewhere between all those T20 legends who've been playing consistently those franchise cricket. And most probably when we talk about the ideal cricketer of Hassan Nawaz, it can be any T20 player of the recent past. This is where a mindset has been changed in the Pakistani lineup. We talk about Haris as a wicketkeeper batter. Again, that mindset we've seen throughout his entire career. We talk about Hassan Nawaz, we talk about Shadab, then Salman Ali Agha. It's the change which being brought about by the change in the captaincy pattern. The moment Salman Ali Agha stepped up as the captain of T20, we've seen those changes. I was there. I watched those matches when Hassan was trying to play. I don't know which kind of strokes in New Zealand, but ultimately that confidence on Hassan was paid off in the third match when he scored a century, and then when he was selected as a PS in the PSL place category and then performed in the middle order. So does Haris, and so does so many players. Even the confidence on Syed, who has not been performing well in the recent past and has not a good PSL by his standards, but still being part of the Pakistani lineup and starting 11 in the very first match. That shows they have picked their best 11 or most probably the best 15 for the coming T20 World Cup, and they're heavily relying on those, and now they're investing certain matches on those players, and God forbid if everything goes well, and let's hope that management and the coaching staff and the captain goes well, most probably will be one of those contenders to lift the trophy in the coming year.
Absolutely, and I think that level of competition, K Asif Ahmad, when every player realizes that they've got a like-for-like replacement if they don't perform, especially those who are on the bench and those who are not selected in the squad yet, who are to make a comeback. It's going to be very, very tricky now that they realize that they have to be not perfect but more than perfect to get their place in the side.
If you see bowling stats, the Fahim Ashram, he bowled 3 overs, 18 runs, and he has taken 1 wicket. And same, Haris Rauf bowled 3 overs, conceded 36 runs. So it's an alarming situation once again. The guys who are sitting on the bench, or maybe the guys who haven't selected in the squad, like Shaheen Shah Afridi, though he has bowled really well in Pakistan Super League 10. But the question is, Ahmed, that the guys who are sitting over the bench, and let's suppose if they're not getting chance, and the same playing 11, if they're performing so well, let's suppose Fakhr Zaman getting the same form of PSL and Saeed Majeed will get is the same form right before his injury, the way he was playing against in South Africa or in in Australia. So I think then there's a question mark, and we have had this debate earlier as well. Then we want Pakistan's victory. Doesn't matter who's playing or who's not playing. And a guy, Babar Azam, without any doubt, one of the top-notch performer of Pakistan, he was under criticism just because of his strike rate. On the other side, Hassan Nawaz, he's playing really well. If you see his last night's innings, confident, technically okay, each and everything was perfect. So then there's a question mark that if they guys are performing well, and the only thing is that if they will perform with the consistency, then I think that there would be then the rest of the guys, they will be in danger zone, especially Babar Azam and Rizwan. But one thing, Mohammad Haris, a big question mark on his wicket keeping. Behind the stumps, he's not that much active as Mohammad Rizwan is, isn't it?
You want Mohammad Rizwan to make a comeback?
Yes.
As a wicket keeper?
As a wicket keeper.
Bat at which place?
Of course on Mohammad Haris. Because
Number
I said
4.
that I'm not... See, the strike rate is not a big problem for me as much as you guys are winning. If you're winning and you guys won last night, and that's why we're not criticizing over Saim Ayub and Fakhar Zaman. But the way Fakhar Zaman got out, you tell me that. The way he was performing in Pakistan Super League. Would you support him with this idea that going down the track and throwing his wicket in this game?
Not really, but like I said, I respectfully disagree with you. Like you say, I would think about not having Mohammad Rizwan. I just look, I'm stuck at a conundrum where I know that out of Babar and Rizwan, one is going to make a comeback, most likely Babar Azam. And right now, if you consider the combination of the team, you don't want to disturb it. But the fact still remains, whether it's Saim, Fakhar, this is a very small series. Let them face some healthy competition. Because like I said, I'm very disappointed by the Bangladeshi team with the competition that they brought. But the fact still remains that, give them a competitive edge and let's see what happens. But the bowling perspective, I think, is going to be very important now. I think K Asif is right. He mentions the stats of even Haris Rauf as well. So I think we're at a point now that there will be no automatic selection Kashif Majeed in the bowling. You will have to be very picky about who the 3 fast bowlers are.
For Haris Rauf's sake, the only thing which supports Haris Rauf is collecting 150 miles, and that is it. Most probably a right-arm fast bowler in Pakistan collecting 150 miles on a 150 kilometers on regular intervals. That is something which we lacked in recent times, and most probably this is where Haris Rauf filled that spot for Pakistan. And yes, on those supporting tracks in Australia and South Africa, he performed really well. We just concluding that, just going through that series in my mind against Australia, he was at times unplayable, but it's just not the case everywhere. As a bowler, we have to learn different basic arts of playing on different surfaces, and so does Haris Rauf. Has to improve his variations and most probably his lengths. Because yesterday's match, only Haris Rauf was looking as a weakling in our bowling, because rest of the bowlers are performing very well. And this is the case for last few matches, talking about the entire PSL. He was just not there. Again, a bad pitch, maybe not in the rhythm, but there is no healthy competition for him right now. When we talk about right-arm fast bowler, there were certain names, but they just faded away. For instance, Ehsan was one of those. Wasim Jr. got unfit. Hasnan was there, but he just couldn't perform. At
Zaman Khan.
Yes. There was some, but clicking those 150 kilometers per hour on regular intervals, that is something which was lacking among these. I surely miss all those guys who've been performing well, but I'm not sure why they were not picked by PSL franchises. Most probably in the next season, with 2 franchises added, those guys will be part of those setup, and we'll see them live performing in those competitions. So healthy competition is on way. Yes, we are lacking some genuine fast bowlers, and most probably Haris Rauf is still among those very well.
Absolutely, and like I said, that there are many bowlers right now, K Asif Ahmad, in the circuit. So you'll have to be, completely believing in the conditions and the strategy, and also, which bowler is right for which kind of condition, and, regardless of the stature and name that they carry.
Ahmed, we aren't, I reckon we aren't brave that much that we take all the new guys, the youngsters who are performing well in the domestic circuit, and we'll bring them. Shehzad is one of the emerging all-rounder that if you see his batting stats, bowling stat, is so good. But once again, he played only 21st class. So I would love to see that he's playing at least 10 to 15 games and performing with the same momentum. So I would love to watch him. And then Ali Raza, you know that he's another promising guy. He performs so well. His bowling speed, his line and length, each and everything looks very good. And if we will work him in the domestic circuit, he could be an asset for Pakistan. This is what I could see, and I could reckon that. Rest, as Kashif bhai was mentioning, 150, yes, it's a problem for Pakistan. But the problem is that a guy who is 150 is not bowling with the proper line and length and leaking these much runs against a side like Bangladesh. And his speed is also a question mark, that what we will do with your speed that you're just coming up with. Bad lengths, bad deliveries, and leaking runs, because this is Bangladesh. And even then, where the other guys like Hassan Ali taken 5 wickets whole. And if you see the seam and swing position in these scenario, Hassan Ali was quite okay. And it reminds me, his performances reminds me the same Hassan Ali which we have witnessed in Champions Trophy 2017, isn't it? So he worked a lot. The good thing is, Kashif bhai and Ahmed bhai, that he went back to the domestic cricket. He worked hard, really. He played 2-3 seasons consecutively. I witnessed his hard work, each and everything. And now in the international arena in Pakistan Super League, that he performed really well. And his comeback with the 5-wicket haul definitely improved his confidence.
No,
Yes.
if I can add to that fast bowlers debate, normally a mantra is to pick those fast bowlers in a playing 11. Someone who can bowl the new ball, someone who can bowl in the middle of the innings by pitching those heartlands, and a fast bowler with a pace who can bowl at the depth. Going through yesterday's match, Hassan Ali, a bowler who can bowl with the new ball exceptionally well. Fahim Ashraf in the middle of the innings, which with hitting the wicket hard and those slow deliveries. And Haris Rauf's role was to bowl at the depth, of course in the middle of the innings, but primarily bowl at the depth. So that ball at the depth fast bowler is still missing. Going through entire PSL, last 5 overs 70 runs, last 5 overs 6s, every team's this was the weakness for every team apart from Quetta Gladiators, because they've heavily relied on their mystery spinners for those last 5 overs. Talking about Lahore Qalandars, how many times they have conceded over 50 or 60 runs in the last 5 overs. So does Islamabad United, so does Peshawar Zalmi. Peshawar was, I guess, the worst of those teams. So most probably a bowler who can bowl at the depth, a fast bowler with the pace who can bowl at the depth overs. This is something which we lacked in the recently concluded PSL, and this is where we have to find someone or to fit someone in, or most probably brainstorm a bowler across Pakistan who can be a lethal death bowler for Pakistan.
But I thought we were going to develop that with Zaman Khan, but then they started giving him the new ball. So I don't understand how those plans work. Yes, K Asif Ahmad.
Kashif bhai, the mantra is in the death overs that you should be perfect with the Yorkers. That would what we are watching in the international cricket. Jasprit Bumrah, Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Sri Lankan former Test cricket, Lasif Malinga. These guys were, and I had a chat with Ravi Bopara, and he said that according to me, that the only perfect with the Yorkers guy was Lasif Malinga. In an over, he could bowl 3-4 perfect Yorkers. But after that, when everybody knows that the mantra is only that if you are bowling your death overs, and if you can't bowl a Yorker, that definitely batters will destroy you. So why are coaches and why are management, they're not working on it? It's a very simple question. I think that it's 2 + 2 = 4, isn't it?
Okay, a fast bowler being selected in one of those franchise cricket or domestic just to bowl last 3 or 4 overs, most probably we are not still at that level to understand this mantra that this bowler has got this just one job to do, and that is to bowl at the death over. For instance, I still remember those days of Omar Gul. He was a perfect bowler with the new ball, but eventually developed into a bowler who can bowl exceptionally well with the old ball. For instance, Hassan Ali started cricket as a first change bowler because he was very good in the Champions Trophy with the slightly old ball or the old ball because of those reverse swing and those angles. So, picking a bowler just to bowl those death overs, I guess the selectors have to be brave enough, and this should have been started in the very early domestic cricket T20 competitions, that we are planning to develop a bowler who can bowl at the death over, and we will not ask him to bowl with the new ball because that will be his speciality.
But that would be, that requires a complete specialized set of skill set. In Pakistan, I have rarely seen anyone doing that. Even if I go back to domestic cricket at the moment right now, like I said, it's very rare to pick. I thought that Zaman Khan could be the one with Yorkers, but then again, probably not good enough, or PCB has other plans. But, this is a very primary concern. Haris Rauf could be that one person, if he can develop that skill of bowling Yorkers at will. It's not about just bowling Yorkers, at will. Wherever you can bowl 3 Yorkers, 2 Yorkers.
When? Ahmad Nawaz, when? He already played plenty of cricket. When will he learn that?
After playing more plenty cricket, probably. But like I said, Asif, the surprising element is that you realize this, I do, Kashif realizes this. But why have over the years certain people associated with PCB have not realized this?
I think that we had a problem of changing coaching staff. We had your friend Jason Gillespie, then we had Aqib Javed Saab, Gary Kristen, all went. Now Mike Hassan, I think everybody was talking about to give him some time, at least 2 years, to build a team. So I'm quite sure that right before taking this charge, he should have met the chairman Pakistan Cricket Board, and he should have requested, sir, I want at least 2 years if you want a good team from me. And Mike Hassan already, he worked with Islamabad United, and if you see his resume, that he worked for New Zealand, he worked some other teams as well, and all of wherever he had worked, he produced good results. But the thing was that he spent good time, enough time with the teams, with the countries, and I wish if he could go to the domestic cricket and try to find some talent.
But that means the communication established between whoever the coach is and what is happening. Look, a coach should have direct access to domestic coaches or camps or even the National High Performance Center, and he can say that, look, in my plans I need a bowler who can bowl Yorker, go and scout him and bring him to the national side. Something like that.
You know that Mohammad Wasim Saab, when he was chief selector, hardly I watched him 1 or 2 times that he's watching domestic cricket, and that was a really astonishing thing for me. That
Mohammad Wasim was one of the chief selectors who was mostly seen in domestic games.
I never seen him.
Inzamam was never seen in domestic games.
I never seen him because
I just find Mohammad Wasim, present in Diamond Cricket Ground with JDW playing the semi-final or the quarter-final of
those games only, semi-finals or finals, but not normally, because I remain the part of the commentary team as well. So when Ramiz Raja Sir was even chairman Pakistan Cricket Board, he used to watch the domestic cricket over the YouTube live,
Don't expect a chief selector to be available for every domestic game.
But
if he's coming in the semi-final, final, that means he's there to gauge the best teams playing in that tournament. How is that wrong?
Ahmed, I'm not saying that, or I'm not arguing that either you were present in the ground or not. At least you should watch the highlights. At least you should watch all the games. That this is your responsibility. That's
How do you know he didn't watch it?
Sorry?
How do you know he didn't?
Because of his selection. That's the answer, dear. That's the answer.
Who did he not select? Who did he not select?
Come on. I've asked this question that why you have selected Azam Khan. He said, I've watched all the games. And he was the best wicketkeeper batter. And the same time, Kamran Ghulam didn't pick. He performed the same in the domestic cricket. So that's with his decisions.
And what's your assessment of Kamran Ghulam now? What's your
I think that we should give him some more time. That's very simple.
plenty of games now? How many?
Plenty. How
games?
much? How much actually?
30 games, 20?
No. Come on, dear.
No. How much more? I'm just
At least 10 games.
At
dear.
least 10.
At least 10.
In
games.
T20 format.
No, in
No,
in
not
ODI,
T20
in ODI, in
ODI.
ODI and test games, in ODI and test games.
Yeah, so the right format needs to be identified. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
important.
Yeah.
And I think playing them on the right time is very important. The year he got 1200 runs, he should have played. Simple. The year he got 1200 runs, he should have played at that time. So
Yeah, and on that time, Abdullah Shafique got a chance. Everybody knows that, Pakistan team was in Bangladesh, and we were hoping that Kamran Ghulam will get a chance. But what happened when the playing 11 announced, Abdullah Shafique was the part of the team, and Abdullah Shafique played. So though he played well in that game, and after that he performed well, but now he is once again under criticism that he's not performing well. So he deserves, Kamran Ghulam deserves at least 10 more chances.
at least 10 more chances for Kamran Ghulam, but in the right format only. Once again, we clarify this as well. Now, I think we come to something very, very particular, and that is the way that Pakistan have approached this game has given us an opportunity to think about 200s. Now, Kashif, should 200 now be the new normal for Pakistan team?
Definitely yes, because if we're talking about the modern day cricket, and 200 is found on those score sheets everywhere around the globe, not just the international matches, but the complete franchise cricket. I am not talking about the Ludo franchise cricket just happening across the border. I'm talking about the real cricket. Talk about Vitality Blast, talk about Australian Big Bash, even SA20 for that matter, because all those conditions are pretty tough for the batters too, and it's a good way of playing. It's a good venues for playing cricket, because the batters and the bowlers equally get the chance, and simultaneously the boundaries are long enough. Only a clear head will cross those fences. But going through that Michael Hesson, I just remember those days when Ross Taylor versus Mike Hesson was the talk of the town, and most probably Ross Taylor was the one who sacrificed his place as a captain in all three formats, because Mike Hesson wanted Brendan McCullum to be captain of the white ball cricket. So we have to remember all those past experiences with every coach we are appointing, because at some time I'm not sure what happened, but Ross Taylor was so down on his cricket that he take a break, and he couldn't represented New Zealand for a year or so, and then came back and perform in the all three formats. But there is a certain case of all those players and all those coaches who do have a background. You talk about Wasim for that matter. I just going through my memories. Saud Shakil was and the captain of PTV, who was selected by Mohammad Wasim at that time. Why I'm sporting K Asif, just going through all those details. That PTV side comprises of emerging cricketers across Pakistan. I can name few who've represented Pakistan then, have been part of that PTV team, and that PTV team actually won one day first class competition for that matter, and Saud Shakil was the captain, and then there emerges a certain number of players who represented Pakistan in the coming years. Why I'm saying this? Because I wanted someone to be, just not to be there in the ground, but to pick all those young talented guys who haven't been picked by those big departments or team. For instance, Shehzad was, again, nobody picked Shehzad. Ultimately, a player from PTV left, and they they wanted an all-rounder. Mohammad Shehzad got picked. He took a hat-trick in the final, scored a century, and ultimately then picked by a franchise in the PSL. So this is where it's very important to look out for all those guys who are not in the radar system of the big departments or the franchises. So
but are we looking at a new I won't say domination, but I think a new era now of where probably Pakistan is going to make a decision that Salman Ali Agha is your long-term T20 captain?
We are not sure about our anything happening in PCB. Unfortunately, last PCB chairman who was there at the helm of affairs for the consecutive 4 years, we have to go very long back in the history to find out anyone who has completed his tenure of 4 years or 3 years, that much of time, because every now and then. It's just not the change in the topmost hierarchical position. It's the change in the complete mentality of the, every masseur in the team. So this is where it's very important that the change in the top notch hierarchical position cannot change the mentality of the team. But unfortunately, this do happens. And if who knows, a change in the chairman can lead to the change in the captain, can lead into change in the mental shift, and most probably will be playing against again that 80s and 90s cricket and saving the wickets and going berserk in the last 5 overs and scoring 150 runs and thinking this is a par score.
Well, I dread that, at the same time. But Asif, very quickly, your final thoughts. Salman Ali Agha is the T20 skipper for Pakistan.
I will support him. I will definitely support him if Pakistan Cricket Board will take this decision for next 2-3 years, and at least like the upcoming T20 World Cup. I will definitely go with the Salman Ali Agha.
As a long-term investment for Pakistan.
Yes,
T20 cricket?
yes, that's the. See, I'm saying at least next upcoming T20 World Cup, at least.
Which has got to be obviously the primary concern for Pakistan at this moment. Like we're saying,
Yeah.
that that goal has to be achieved in the next couple of months. Because
Yeah.
if we're still not sure, then who knows who's going to be the captain and the
But
coach.
I think that he has proved himself as a skipper, that he performed well and he has taken good decisions. In the field, he's very much talkative to his colleagues. He looks very active. So he looks good captain. Now take a decision, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think he's proven that fact. If somebody's getting the team together and the dressing room
Yeah.
environment is better, then I think stick with him. Simple
Yeah.
as that. And the performance will speak for itself. That's what he did as well. But thank you very much, K Asif Ahmad and Kashif Majeed, for joining us. That wraps up Sports Extra. For me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.